Welcome back to a quick chat in the Cadillac. My name is SG. I like to explore the simplicity of complexity. If you didn't know, this is my show where I break it down for you both real and quick. Both of them. Now, it is season 2, official, which means all the videos, full episodes are available on my YouTube, SG space Bubba space K. They are listed by episode number, title, and season if you check the playlist. So head on over to my YouTube and get your life right. Every single one of those episodes is worth watching, as equally as much as this one. But today I'm going to be talking to you about the level. All right, the level. And yes, we're using a video game analogy for all the nerds who just wet their pants a little bit. I'm glad you're excited. For all the people who's like, what? Listen, hold on. Listen, because I'm about to cook. So, here's my thing, all right? When we think about it, think about the level up. All right, when you're in a game, especially if it's an open world game, which is much more like real life than a very linear game. But if you're in an open world game, you have the opportunity to choose when you go to the next level, to choose when you go to the next destination. And there's a lot that you could do. Especially in open world games. Like sometimes you can approach a level way before you're ready and you'll get mollywopped. Bow, bow. Sometimes you could wait and gather up as much resources and XP as you possibly can. And you never know, you might miss out on some quests altogether. Special prizes and shit like that. Unlocked hidden secrets of the game and shit like that. And then there's that sweet spot right in the middle where you're ready to take on the next level and get the most enjoyment out of the game overall because it's still challenging and still rewarding. And this applies to life. All right. Now, and I'll kind of break it down like this. When you are this video game character that is you and the game is your life, even though life ain't a game, let's think about it like it is a game for a moment. And you go through each level. Let's say you start at the tutorial, you start at the beginning, and you get good enough to move on. And you start getting comfortable with the game because it's easier at first. But then the game gets harder, just like life is. A lot of times, life starts off easier, not easy, easier, and then it gets harder as time goes on. Some people, they start off with a tough life right away, which means they're either going to quit the game or they're going to be a lot more prepared than game players who start off easier. They have less challenges to tackle right away. Regardless, everybody's got to go to the next level at some point. In order to beat the game and enjoy it, you got to go to the next level. Some people is going to sit around and gather up all the resources and experience that they can. But here's the problem. When you do that, I made the joke about missing out on secret side quests and stuff like that. But here's the reality. The whole purpose of playing the game, the whole purpose of participating is enjoying the experience, right? If you're running around playing games just to be as easy as possible, then you have a problem with control, and that's going to bite you in the ass in real life. Now, in a video game, who knows? But in real life, that's going to bite you in the ass. But let's say you gather up as many resources and XP as you can. You're just doing the same shit over and over. You just get comfortable with it. Who's to say that for the next level, it's going to be any challenge? And then when you go to the next level after that, because you're feeling yourself, you're getting high, you might get your ass whooped anyways. Because you don't have a appropriate determination of when to move to the next level, because you staggered and stalled for way too long and you didn't even know you weren't ready for the next level because you don't have an appropriate gauge for what it took for you to get from one level to the next. On top of that, you might have just bored yourself out enough that you don't even really like playing the game no more. And what fun would that be, playing a game that you don't like even playing? And then you got the people who just get too overeager and play the game before they're ready. Okay, that's something I had suffered from in the past. But essentially, trying to jump levels ahead when you did not, put in the work. You ain't do the side quests. You ain't do all the missions that you needed to get done to move to the next level, at least as a minimum requirement. And when you went to get to that next level, you got your ass whooped. Bow, bow. Now, you might be someone who's determined, and you might run right back into that level to try again, and you got your ass whooped again. Bow, bow, cleaned up. And then the next time, maybe it was a little bit better, but you went into that level, you took 3 hits instead of 2. Bow, 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 and then you got your ass cleaned up again. Because you didn't do what it took to get prepared. You didn't put in the proper time, preparation, the foundation, the stability. and still you didn't play the game, you're not enjoying it no more because it's too damn hard for you. You're like, man, this game sucks. This is way too hard. I don't even want to play no more. That's another way that you can, kind of shoot yourself in the foot by not properly gauging when to go to the next level. At some point, you got to understand there's a balance between not doing enough and when there ain't much else that you can do except move forward. And that's where you come in. You're the expert game player, right? When it comes to the game of your life and the character is you, you're the only expert I can see, to be honest with you. Which means that you need to be making sound decisions. You need to be informed on how and when and why to move to the next level. Okay, the way they're designed, the way games are designed is not so that you could have the most possible resources before going to the next level. And not so that you could struggle more than anybody else to get to the next level because you jumped into it way too early. It's designed for you to find the sweet spot. All right, the natural progression of things. And you'll start to feel it. You'll start to feel the change when things are just becoming a little bit too easy for you. But not so easy that you get completely bored, just easy enough for you to say, can I take on an extra challenge? Can I add a little bit to my plate? Can we get a little bit further in the game? And things will still be challenging for you. They'll still keep you engaged. You'll still have fun learning, progressing, growing. You're not going to dominate everything that you see because domination is not synonymous with having fun. Fuck what a dictator says. Fuck what authoritarians say. Having complete control over everything around you, it's not as fun as they make it look. In fact, that also becomes very boring. What you want is that sweet spot. The G spot of the game, if you will. You want the sweet spot to understand how to move forward. And that's what actually allows you to continue moving forward because you don't put down the controller at any point in time. You're engaged with the game. You're continuing to make progress. You're continuing to hit achievements and milestones and get rewards and encounter challenges and, have difficulty with the game, but also have fun playing the game. And that's why I love this analogy, see, because it's a lot of people who at some point put the controller down for one reason or another. Whether they were underprepared or overprepared, they just lost interest altogether. That's their game, and that's how they played it. But for your game, and I'm talking to you right now, for your game, I feel like you probably like me. You probably like playing the game. You probably enjoy living your life. And you probably want to live it to the fullest. Whether it requires sacrifice, whether it requires risk taking, whether it requires reward, or whether it requires effort and discipline and the ability to actually receive rewards, all those different types of things, or whether it requires all of the above and more. You might be the kind of person who likes to play the game, who wants to enjoy the game, especially if you came here. I ain't make your ass come here. Pause. I did not make you live. You understand? I didn't make you live. You made the decision. Your soul made the decision to come down here and live this life. All right, so is you going to play the game the right way? Maybe, maybe not. But at least play it so that you can have some fun. And that's what the analogy is about today. That's what the message is of today. Make sure that when you're going through your life, when you're taking on these challenges, these next levels that you want to go to, that you're playing the game the right way. Understand, this is here for you to experience. This is here for you to have fun. And fun doesn't come from just good things all the time. It also doesn't come from just bad things all the time. It comes from the balance that exists between them. So the good things feel better and the bad things give you reference point for why the good things feel better. That's what true balance of emotion, experience, and real fun is. You think someone who goes out and parties all day, every motherfucking day for 10 years straight has more fun than someone who goes out once or twice a month and they just while out the once or twice a month? I think you know the answer to that question because eventually the partying shit's going to get old, and the person who never goes out and never has fun, that shit gets old too. So the balance is where you'll find your happiness. The balance is where you'll find the most experience and the most fulfillment. So play your levels accordingly. It's your game in your life and you the player. So it's for you to figure out where that exists and where that balance exists. But I'm just here to tell you that it does exist. And that when you find it, that's when you found that G spot. Peace.